come to our off-road course. Now, a hill like this is a breeze for the mud-munching Shogun, but how will our soft-roaders get on?
Subaru could lay claim to inventing the soft-roader with this, the legacy Outback. First launched in '96 in the States, it's even got an owners club. Now, unlike the other two cars, this has got a conventional farmer's type gearbox. Basically means you've got a lever here, it's down for the road and up for plough. Now that's basically a two-speed gearbox. You've got a high and a low speed. We're going to be using low, so it's up for plough. So now let's give it a go. We've got a big hill approaching. In first, low gear. Let's have a go. Doesn't like this very much. I think we're going to have a run-up.
And we're over.
Ah, and there it grounds out. 190 millimetres, the lowest of the three cars, but to be fair, I think all cars would ground out there. There's a 200 brake horsepower 3-litre version heading this way towards the end of the year. But for now, the Outback must make do with 154 brake horsepower and no turbo. A little weedy in this company, but it does have the smallest price at just over £24,000, and that includes the luxury pack. Oh, and this lovely suede on the door. Nice.
Luxury? You don't know you were born. The Audi Allroad's got tons of it. That's a price though.
The range starts at 33 grand, and that's before you look at the options list.
And this one is loaded all the way up to 44 grand. Yeah, 44 grand. That's Range Rover money. Now, one of the first things I have to do in the Audi Allroad is to raise the ride height. This car has got a very clever system. It hasn't got conventional springs. This one's got springs that are full of air, and we can inflate them and deflate them by pressing this button, and it can vary the ride height by up to 66 millimetres. Now, this car's got 250 brake horsepower. Is it enough to get me over this great big hill? Let's find out. Now, Audi have got a very clever system in this car that detects when one of the wheels is going to lose grip. I'm going to go up here in first gear, just see if one of the wheels starts scrabbling for grip. There you go, look, wheel starts scrabbling for grip. Hold the throttle on, and then it brakes that wheel and sends all the power to the other wheels and finds the wheel with the most grip, with the most weight on it, and delivers the power to there. Fantastic, I can't believe it.
The Volvo Cross Country was launched in America as a direct competitor to the Subaru Outback, and it was very successful. Now it's over here in British spec. It comes with a 200 horsepower 2.4 litre 5-cylinder engine with a light pressure turbo, and that'll get you to 62 in just 9 seconds. Inside, it's very much like the V70 estate in which it was based, the only difference being this big silver grab handle in the middle here. Now I'm about to go off-road in the Cross Country. I don't have to change any switches or buttons. Select a low ratio on the gearbox and off I go, so I have very little to think about. There is so much ground clearance, 8 inches or 209 millimetres. Now this is a kind of hill you wouldn't even think about tackling in a regular car, but I'm just going to keep the throttle nice and steady and see if this Volvo can pull on its crampons.
Like the Audi, the Volvo has a clever traction system. When things get sticky, it searches for the wheel with the best grip and applies the power to it.
Now, I can feel a wheel slipping, but in the Cross Country, if I just keep a constant throttle, I can feel the wheels getting grip. It's quite amazing.
We were impressed with all three cars, but the Audi and Volvo were definitely kings of the hill. But it's time to wave bye-bye to the Shogun. This slope is way too much for us. We're not off-roaders, we're soft-roaders.
Back on levelish ground now with our 3 soft-roaders and a much more realistic test that involves a very wet and muddy field and 3 horse boxes. We're going to hook up each of the horse boxes to our 3 cars, and the first one of us to pull them out of the mud and across this finish line is the winner.
Anyone remember the Silverstone car park at this year's British Grand Prix? Well, with the help of our friendly farmer, that's what we're trying to recreate here, but with the added challenge of 3 horse boxes. And with the jockeys on board, we're under starters' orders.
I'm sat alongside 2 of the most competitive males I'm ever likely to meet in my life, but I have high hopes for my Volvo. And if I beat them, they're going to be so upset.
Now, unlike the other two, I'm going to be a little bit sneaky because I get the funny feeling, both being ex-racing drivers, they're both going to tear off down this field, spinning mud all over the place. Well, actually, I'm just going to select drive, sit back in my nice plush leather seat and just let the power of the engine drag me down the course. No doubt I'm the winner. Right, here we go. Race of the century.
2,
Watch this.
1, go!
Oh, we're going to get beaten here by the Volvo. The thing's all over the place.
The Audi, look, just puts down the traction. I'm leaving the other two in my way. The winner!
Mike's going to be a real pain in the arse now.
I'm afraid that my co-presenter, Jason Plato, just overestimated his ability.
In the trailer test, the Legacy Outback is way out back along with the Volvo. But the clear winner is the very capable Audi.
I am really successful. I've reached the top of my tree, and that means I get to drive around in a BMW. Did you hear that? A BMW. And these poor people around me have to drive around in things like Vectras. Oh, I couldn't be seen dead in a Vauxhall. Time to think again, my friend. Yes, I know it's hard to believe, but this sporty little number is really a Vauxhall VX220 to be precise. And if it's 0 to 60 time in just 5.6 seconds is anything to go by, then this should be one impressive little sports car.
The VX220 is actually built by Lotus and it's based on the Elise tub. However, it's not just a reworked Lotus. Less than 10% of its components would fit on an Elise, and most of those are items like seat runners that in no way contribute to the business end of the car.
And this car really does mean business. On the go faster side of things, it's got a 2.2-litre, 145 brake horsepower engine that's mid-mounted right behind me here, and that gives you the best possible weight distribution. It's got a 5-speed gearbox, and it'll get up to 136 miles per hour. On the go slower side of things, it's got ABS brakes as standard and 288mm vented discs with racing calipers. All that for a princely sum of just £22,995. That'll be about the same price as a BMW 3 Series. OK, so it goes quite fast, and Lotus built it, but we all know how practical a Lotus is.
Well, you can keep your practicality. Frankly, my dear, I've been seduced by this devilishly good-looking car. Designed by the man who penciled the interior of the Audi TT, the VX220 bulges in all the right places. It's certainly a car that stands out from the crowd, and it's going to draw adoring looks whether at rest or at play out on the open road. Inside, there's no proper carpet, aircon, electric windows or power steering, but you are granted some luxuries, an alarm, driver's airbag and unusually a starter button. Like aircon, this strut is an option. It's purely for show and serves no mechanical purpose, but it will cost an estimated 250 quid. The soft top is standard, of course, but a hard top is available, again as an option. Full marks for the VX220 so far, but it isn't without its flaws.
The ventilation is utterly appalling. I'm trying to get some cold air onto my feet, but I'm just getting wafted with hot air. So imagine with a roof on how claustrophobic it would feel. Reversing this thing into a car space is just sheer guesswork. It really is impossibly hard to see what's going on around you. And even this rear view mirror, I've just got a tiny little view of the car behind me. But who's interested in going backwards in something like this? This is a great little sports car, and it's all. Whoa, stop! It's a Vauxhall, and it's a very good little car. Now, that's going to take a few seconds to sink in. OK, carry on. Of course, the VX220 is a rear-wheel drive sports car, so you'd expect loads of fun and loads of oversteer, but oh no! Vauxhall couldn't have one of their cars oversteering, so they've put skinny front tyres on it to make it understeer.
But to be fair, most of us would never notice it. You really have to be pushing the car hard before the understeer kicks in.
The steering is so direct and the brakes
seats are instantly there for you. Wherever you want to put this car, it just goes. It's absolutely fantastic. Well done, Vauxhall. At last, you've done it. You've come up with an exciting car. Available from November, the VX220 will struggle to prize people out of their Elises, but if it's a true sports car you're after, it's way ahead of the MR2 and the MGF. It leaves you with a smile on your face and reminds you what driving is all about. Maybe the VX220 is the start of a new era for Vauxhall, a shot across the bows of other manufacturers that says Vauxhall is back. So, my friend, well, who's the dull and boring one now? If you want to know more about the VX220 or any of tonight's cars, plus read an exclusive road test of the brand new BMW M3, then log on to 4car.co.uk.
After the break, there's more from the Driven 100, and we catch up with what's happening in our LPG campaign.
Welcome back. Later, Mike's banging on again about LPG, but first it's back to the Driven 100. Now, traditional off-roaders like our Shogun here have got a reputation for being a bit of a handful in a sudden swerve.
But these 4x4s based on ordinary estate cars claim to be a bit more chuckable, even though they ride so high. Next on the agenda, we've got the slalom course. Mike's going to be driving through at 50 miles an hour, and we're going to find out which one handles the best. First up, the Subaru.
Well, here we go. We're in the Subaru Outback. This car's got permanent four-wheel drive. Now, Subaru are famous for building grippy four-wheel drive cars. Let's see how this one does. We're going to go into the slalom course at 50 miles an hour. Hold on, guys.
I am holding on very tight, don't worry.
Oh,
right.
Look at that oversteer.
The back end is sliding all over the place. You don't expect this from a four-wheel drive.
Shouldn't be doing that, surely. No. What's it like
And I'm
the back, Ben?
holding on for dear life if I let go. I've got to hold on tight.
I'll tell you what, Mike, really oversteer, haven't you?
Well, there you go. Look at that. A permanent four-wheel drive car that handles like a rear-wheel drive car. Let's try the Audi.
The Audi suspension automatically lowers at various speeds depending on how fast you're going. But luckily for us, you can drop it manually, which will come in handy in this test.
Right then, let's try the Allroad. Now, Audi pioneered four-wheel drive systems on road cars. This has got the Quattro system, 50 miles an hour. Ready, guys?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's more like it.
Massive
Fantastic.
difference. It's just nailed to the floor, isn't it? Really sure-footed.
The one thing I will say, though, the steering's got a little bit of a dead spot in the middle, but exactly what you'd expect to get out of a four-wheel drive car. It's sure-footed, fancy-free, got plenty of grip. Well done, Audi. Right then, it's the Volvo's turn now. Unlike the Audi, this car hasn't got that clever little bit of gizmology that can lower the suspension.
It's 209mm ground clearance, that's 8 inches, that's just about as much as a Discovery, so really it should be very roly-poly.
And it's not. It's fantastic. How clever are these Swedes, eh? Look at this car. It's fantastic. The steering is just astonishing. It's permanent four-wheel drive.
But it's only 95% to the front and 5 to the rear.
Absolutely.
Are you sure you're doing 50 there? Because it doesn't feel like it.
I've crept up to 60, to be honest with you. For me, this is by far the best.
Yeah, me too.
Easily. Do you want to go round again? It was that good, wasn't it?
Get the ABBA on and we'll go round again.
A frightening amount of oversteer from a four-wheel drive car, the Subaru comes last. In a close second place, the excellent Audi Allroad. But sneaking into the top slot, the tall but nimble Volvo.
Now, following a huge response from you, the viewers, Mike's getting on his soapbox again.
In the last couple of weeks, the British public have made it clear that they're fed up with petrol prices. But we're all still paying over the odds at the pumps, unless, of course, you're filling up with liquid petroleum gas.
2 weeks ago on Driven, we launched a campaign to promote LPG as the cheap, greener alternative gas. It only costs 40 pence a litre because as a greener fuel, it's much less heavily taxed. We've had a fantastic response, the biggest ever on Driven. Some of you have already decided to convert your cars to run on LPG. Hundreds of you have emailed us and thousands have logged onto our website to register your support. Thanks. But to really make a difference, we need thousands more of you to join us.
We all agree that we should have a greener fuel, so let's do something about it.
So what do we want? We want a long-term fuel tax freeze on LPG. Say no to inflated taxation at the pumps.
We want oil companies to put LPG pumps in 1/3 of all stations. And we want the government to allocate some of its huge fuel tax revenue to convert buses and taxis. Register your support after the programme by logging on to 4car.co.uk. Later in the series, we're going to be catching up with our LPG guinea pigs, Derek, David and the Delanet family, to see how they got on with their borrowed biofuel cars. And we're going to be answering some of the questions you've been asking about LPG.
Judgment time draws ever closer in the Driven 100. One more test to go.
Our free group test cars may be capable of going off-road, but at the end of the day, they're just plain old estates, which means one thing, space. So to keep within the country theme, we've got some sacks of oats. We're going to load up each of our cars, leaving enough room to carry some passengers in safety and comfort. First up is the Subaru, but before we start, what do we actually get space-wise?
Right then, Mike, this is quite useful. Under here you've got space for 2 CDs and a jotter pad.
And the rear seats split 60-40. To increase the space, you can either put one or both sides down.
But we're not going to be doing that because we only want to load up to a safe area. We don't want a bag of oats going in the back of somebody's neck and killing them.
Come on then.
Now, come on, load up. I'm going to be busy here counting. That's a 1, a 2.
Are you going to do any of this?
I'm very busy counting. 7. Right, that's 9.
Bang! 10.
That's 12. Now, no more height.
Bang! 13.
Can you get another one?
Throw this one in. Come on.
Now we'll stick it up there.
Ready?
And it'll slip down.
Come on, slide down.
13 in the Subaru. Let's hope it's not unlucky. Next up, the Audi.
Right, as for the Audi, what do we get space-wise? This is a bit trinket.
Not bad. Oh, nice gloves. Compressor.
This is interesting.
Look at this.
Ooh,
That's an alloy.
an inflatable tyre.
What do you mean, it inflates?
Yeah, it's like a folding up tyre. Really good. Save space like that.
And just like in the Subaru, there's a 60-40 split on the rear seat, so you can put them down. But what's this bit?
This is really good. What we've got here is a safety net which protects the passengers from anything that might be in the back that might fly forward. So that's great. We like that.
Very good.
So
That
effectively, we
that
can load
means-
it right to the top.
Yes, you can. 2, 8. Come on, there's loads more space. 14.
I reckon we get one more in.
How many would that be? 15.
16.
Not bad.
16 bags of oats.
Which is quite incredible. But now we've got to do it all again in the Volvo.
So first up in the Volvo, another
Ooh.
area under here, which is quite nice. They've also included a sledge for the winter, which is good.
There is a
Lots of
full-size
nets.
spare wheel underneath.
And you also get another one, and this is where Mike's going to keep his gym slipping pumps.
The seats in here are 40-40-20 split, so you can put them all down, or some of them up, some of them down, but that section pulls out, and Volvo can supply a bag for all your goodies if you're going on a family outing.
That's cool. The other thing is Volvo are always big on safety. Check that out. Massive big guard. You could put Hannibal Lecter in and you wouldn't get in the front.
So
really
you will both be able to load plenty of oats in.
No,
Come
we're
on.
going to watch you
Yeah,
this
yeah.
time.
No, come on, don't be lazy. 8.
I feel like a farm worker, I do.
16.
Enough, it's 1. There's even space for another one.
Yeah, there
That's 19 in the Volvo, 16 in the Audi and 13 in the Subaru. But if the manufacturer would have spent a few quid on a cheap little cargo net, the Subaru would have probably beaten them both. Right, the important bit, time for the Driven 100, where we're going to score our free cars in 4 different categories.
First up, drivability and the Subaru Outback.
We got stuck on a hill we shouldn't have done, and to be honest, it grinded out a bit too much. But
Didn't perform anywhere near
it didn't, but it was a tough course.
And bad oversteer in the slalom, it gets a poor 12. Next, the Audi Allroad.
Well, I say, over the off-road course, was this car not champion? It was fantastic.
But it had nothing to do with the fact you were driving it. Like, it is just such a superior car.
And with excellent handling, it gets a well-grip 20. The Volvo was impressive off-road and on.
It's got to be on a par with the Audi.
It's as good as the Audi, although it hasn't got as much power, it's as drivable.
So 20 again.
Next up, desirability.
Now look, this car is going to be desirable to a lot of people who live in rural areas.
The Subaru, the most honest of the three, scores a no-frills 15. What about the Audi?
This car is never going to get sold to the people who are going to use it to its worth. They're never going to go on an off-road course. They're going to bump up outside a curb, outside the gymnasium or somewhere like that. It's the furthest it's ever going to go off-road.
So it's wasted.
Which is a shame because it is a great car.
And it gets a fanciable 21.
They'll shift tons of these Volvo cross-countries, but again, don't expect to see them bumper deep in mud. They're destined for the city. What a pity.
Not as much as the Audi, yeah, 18.
My age? 18.
Practicality, and first up, the Subaru.
There's bags of space in it. It's got a massive big boot, room for 4 people. It's very practical.
And it managed 13 sacks, giving it a wholesome 18. With the benefit of a luggage net, the Audi managed to swallow 16 bags.
It's a practical vehicle. I think we ought to score it quite highly.
It's a fantastic.
It starts with a 2.
20?
Yeah, 20.
20? OK.
And the Volvo,
I'm pretty sure it's going to wipe the floor of the other 2. It got 19 bags of oats in there.
It's just
Massive
got
space.
more practical.
so it harvests an impressive 22.
Right, now this is the bit I like, cost of ownership, because it all comes down to the nuggets that you're going to spend at the end of the day. Now, if you're a jolly farmer and you're suffering, you've only got to pay 67.3p a mile to drive this thing.
But you've got to cough up nearly £22,000 to buy it in the first place.
It's the road with 14. The Audi starts at £33,000.
And because I like this car so much, the cost per mile figure is 1p a mile, which is great. Don't you think it's great? 91 pence a mile to drive this thing around.
It's a lot of dough.
It pulls onto the hard shoulder with 11. And the £30,000 Volvo.
This is the middle of the road price when it comes to cost per mile. That's 82p.
It scores 12. It's high noon for our soft-roaders, and this week's loser is the Subaru Legacy Outback with 59 points. The Audi Allroad may cost a fistful of dollars, but it gets an impressive 72. And tying in first place, the sharpshooting Volvo Cross Country.
The three of us have had a really hard time during all of these tests working out which is the best car here, the Volvo or the Audi, and that's reflected in the scores. We'll see you next week.
Next week on Driven, we're going on a late summer holiday as we take a group of MPVs on a trip to the seaside. And Jason goes mental in the absolutely bonkers family estate car, the Audi RS4.